I'm Barry Funkhauser, and this is the Barry Funkhauser Show. Here's what's going on. Well, there's been a dramatic spike in California's air pollution. Netflix delays their password-sharing crackdown rollout. And there's a company that proposes an LA to San Francisco night train. As always, I'm here with my co-host and healthier general know-it-all current events guy, Joe. Joe, I'm sure you can hear it in the sound of my voice that I'm fighting a demon cold.
I was going to say, man, you sound like you're under the weather still.
Of all of the ways it got me in the voice.
Is it the dramatic spike in California's air pollution that's doing it, Barry? Is that what the problem is?
I would love to credit that.
Nope, but you just got the plain old virus, huh? You just got the cold.
That's right.
Well, you got the cold, and I'm on day 2 of my cold water conundrum here.
Water conundrum. What's going on over there?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I think I forgot. Maybe I didn't tell you. Our water heater at the apartment complex blew out yesterday or Sunday night. So we haven't had hot water since. I don't know what day.
That's not good at all. Have you been taking cold showers?
Is it Thursday? Is it Friday? I don't even know. We haven't had cold. Having no hot water throws me off my game so bad. So, no, I don't do cold showers, though, because that makes me miserable. Instead, I've been going like 1800s style, and I've been like boiling water and throwing it in the tub so I can at least take, a tepid.
What's that called? Cowboy bath? Is that what that's called?
I mean, sure, I guess. My dad always called it, well, when you're taking the hot water from the stove, like we got like 4 pots going at any given time right now, and we just like throw it in the tub, and then you can like actually have a bath. I dislike baths the most. But what I think you're talking about is like when you fill up a sink and then you use like a sponge or a washcloth. That's a Navy bath.
Yeah.
But I think cowboy bath, that works. Yeah, that's what we've been doing because I have to be clean. Because we work out and I don't want to like have my funk going on all day after I work out in the morning.
Yeah, that's never good.
No, it's basically sucked. So we've been holding out hope that they can fix this 100-year-old water heater. I think we have the first water heater ever created in California. It's in our building. So that's how old it is.
Oh boy. Well, everybody here is sick at the household, and
I'm not coming to visit you anytime soon.
Yeah, don't come here, man. I think it's because the weather is getting warmer and everything is out there pollinating and getting in my nose.
Oh yeah, so. but an allergy to pollen is different than a cold virus. It sounds like you have like an actual cold.
Yeah, I'm sick.
Yeah, you're sick. So I don't know where you went or who you talked to or who you interacted with, but man, someone got you sick. Is your sweetie sick?
Well, I bet you she's gonna be.
Oh, you're gonna give it to her, huh?
She's been sneezing.
You're gonna give it to her.
I'm gonna give it to her. She gonna take it.
I just realized what I was saying there. Okay, so you are the one that got sick. So you are the one that went outside of the household and interacted with other human beings
no,
and then brought the virus back.
No, I think it's the other way around. I think because I wasn't home for a while, and when I came home, everybody was sick, and I was like, "Uh-oh."
Oh man. Okay, so your mom and your pops gave it to you.
Yeah. Somebody must have.
I'm gonna blame them. I'm gonna blame them for making my bee sick. That's not cool, man. That's not cool.
Well, we're gonna get through it, and we're gonna come out on the other end smelly and sounding good. But for now,
hopefully,
let's get into the news. Well, there's been a dramatic spike in California's air pollution. Listen.
An alarming report, California is seeing dramatic spikes in unhealthy air pollution. Over half of the country's most polluted cities are here in California. KCO News' Cara Finstrom live in Somar with how the air quality is affecting our health. Cara, good morning.
Good morning, Chris. This report actually looked at 227 metropolitan areas across the country, LA County ranked the worst when it comes to ozone days. Now, take a look behind us. Our reliance on those gas-powered vehicles and freeways, one of the factors in that. Want to give you a look now at the grade that LA County got from the American Lung Association, an F on that state of the air report. It does look at a number of types of pollution that can lead to lung and other health problems. It also, this report underlined that a disproportionate number of people of color are living in areas with the unhealthiest air, and that impacted neighborhoods, they tend to be near industry and construction sites, as well as those steady flows of gasoline and diesel vehicles. Long Beach, with its ports and shipping traffic, also a continuing concern. Now, for this report, researchers did track ozone, smog, and particle pollution levels between 2019 and 2021, a period which also coincided with a series of wildfires. Here in Sylmar, take a look. Folks still dealing folks did have to deal with major pollution issues following the La Tuna fire back in 2017. Extreme fire years followed across California, peaking in 2020, and the impacts of that have prompted state leaders to consider better brush management practices as well as how to best tackle climate change. The association says that Clean Air Act of 1970 has led, fortunately, to some positive changes across the country. Overall levels of ozone did fall, but it warns the effects of climate change are impacting those improvements. And Chris, that seems to particularly be the concern here in Southern California. Again, some improvements in certain areas, but the wildfires that we've had, a big factor as to why we did so poorly. Back to you.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you've been past the point of no return, Joe, where you go on the other side of the smog. I can't remember where I was. I was like on the 60 or the 57. And I was like, what is that, a fire? Nope, that's just the LA smog scene.
Oh, yeah. I see that. You can actually just go up on Mulholland, and you can see the smog just kind of like hanging over the city sometimes. It's okay, so yes, levels are increasing. They're not nearly at the level they were in the 80s. Like in the 1980s, remember how bad air pollution was in the entire country?
Kind of. I mean, growing up,
you were pretty
remember,
young. That's right. Yeah, I forget how young
they cracked
people are,
it down in the late 80s. By the time, I was in school and stuff, it was starting. They were starting to crack it down.
Yeah, because moms were all up in arms about acid rain. That's the thing that really changed it. Like acid rain came around, and moms were like, "I can't have my kids melting at school," because no one understood what acid rain was. So I always thought that was funny, but no, I mean, sure, we gotta work on pollution. Man, those wildfires though, ooh, yeah, they were a killer. I think can we take that out? Because I don't think that's a real fair assessment of our smog levels because of the wildfires.
Yeah. Adding that in there is kind of stupid.
Well, I mean,
but I guess you have to add it.
I guess you have to add it. How do you take them out? But they made a good point. You got to do your brush clearance. That's going to be very important, especially if you want to save your homes, things like that.
You don't really notice it until you're until you're outside of LA. Like you're in the heart of it. Next week, I have to go to Pasadena. I'm going to Baileyland. I'm going cat sitting. And every time I'm there, it's like I get this ocean breeze where I live. It comes in over the hills.
Oh, yeah. Because you're like 2 miles from the beach, man.
It's gorgeous. But
people don't understand like how awesome Camarillo actually is. It's pretty close to the beach, and it's pretty nice.
It's a hidden gem.
It really is.
But I'm going to Pasadena, and man, when you don't breathe the air for a while, and then you go in there and you do it, it hits you different. And I usually always get sick then.
Doesn't because Pasadena has bad air just because of the way that the geography of the city is. It's in a bowl. Like look on a satellite map of Pasadena and look at the topography or the terrain setting. And you'll see all of Pasadena and Altadena is just in a huge bowl, and everything just gets kind of sucked. All the debris and bad air and stuff kind of gets sucked into Pasadena. It's not great.
And it just sits there festering.
Oh, yeah, because where is it going to go? It has to just finally just settles to the ground.
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, the parts up north of Pasadena, like Sierra Madre and Montrose, beautiful places, beautiful cities. But when you're down there in the muck, boy, I don't know about you, but I can feel it. And if you're not from LA and you come here on vacation, it's hard to breathe. It really is. It's crazy.
Really? I don't know. I haven't heard anyone like say that. Oh, you're talking about La Crescenta. Okay, I see.
Yeah, up there. You know
Well,
what
yeah,
I'm
but
saying?
that's still, I mean, that's still in a valley. They still get some things stuck as well. The big thing was talking about how a lot of pollution, is coming out of like the ports and stuff, because of all the trucks that come in. Um, California and the Port of Los Angeles, there's a deal in place, there's a law in place where all the trucks that go in and out of the port by 2035 all need to be electric vehicles. So that's going to really reduce the amount of smog and pollution coming out of those trucks.
Joe, I know where you're going with that, and I've heard that is a positive thing, but I heard one thing that just shook my brain.
Oh, okay, go for it. What is it?
This EV revolution is not about saving the environment, it's about saving the auto industry.
Oh, well, it's both. It's both.
Yeah.
The one thing that I contend is changing cars to electric isn't gonna make any kind of a difference if we don't do something to cap emissions coming out of factories. Oh, and we have to cap emissions coming out of energy producing factories as well. Because then what's the point? We're just plugging in our cars, but how's that electricity getting generated? From the power plant over there that's just belching out like CO2
Good question, man.
like crazy,
Good question. We're doing our part to recycle, but these big companies are like 98% of the problem.
Exactly, and that's what it is. Like, we have to do our part as good citizens and community members, right? To not overuse and try to be respectful of the environment and do our part. But it's not going to make any kind of a difference if the factories can still do whatever they want.
Yeah.
I just like my hybrid for the fact that, man, I get
cheaper.
I get 400 miles to the gallon.
Yeah.
I have a like a 9-gallon tank. I get like 40, and my car is like 10 years old, and I'm still getting 40 miles to the gallon in a hybrid. It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, make sure you breathe all the air now while it's here, because it's all going away.
Just take a big breath, Bear.
Yeah. No, I can't do that. Can't be doing that now.
Oh, you can't even do that because you got a cold. Oh man,
Yep.
you're really screwed.
Yes.
Oh, that healthy. Thank you.
All right, more news today. Netflix, boy, they've been having problems. They're now delaying the password sharing crackdown rollout. Listen.
Tonight, Netflix is saying in just the last few minutes that guess what? They're going to delay the big rollout of its password sharing crackdown that people don't really like. So if you are one of the folks that's splitting a password between like 20 of your closest friends, you might get to do that a little bit longer. This news is coming out of an earnings report that Netflix has given in just the last maybe 45 minutes or so. Kind of a vibe check on how Netflix is doing. It's pretty mixed. You can see some of the results right here. Earnings beat estimates. But revenue, the money that they made, came in just a little less than what was expected. This matters, right? Like if you're like, oh my God, stop CNBCing me to death. I get it. Here's why this matters, because this is really the first test of how well the new, cheaper subscription for Netflix, the one where you have to see ads, how is that actually working? Is it boosting profits? Is it keeping subscribers around? As there's this big streaming battle for your eyeballs. We're also just finding out that Netflix says they're ending its OG DVD service, the little envelopes that they send you with DVDs. That'll end in September. So RIP your DVD player. CNBC's Alex Sherman is joining us now. This is super interesting from Netflix, and it does feel like the big headline, this unpopular password sharing crackdown. They're going to press pause on that a little longer. Is that because of so much backlash from customers?
I think it's just because they wanted to test out exactly what it would mean to do this password crackdown sharing. In other words, what has happened in some of these other countries is that when Netflix has rolled this out, there is a bit of a backlash, as you might expect. There are some people who are realizing that their password has been shared. Maybe they didn't even know it had been shared. And so those people are actually canceling their accounts. So Netflix has been tinkering around with the pricing of this. It is coming. It's going to come in the second quarter. So if you feel like you're going to, kick back and relax and keep sharing your password, your days are numbered. But we may learn a little bit more about the details about when it is coming in this country. It's already rolled out in Canada and a few other countries during Netflix's conference call, which is coming in the next hour.
Yeah, so big problems in little Netflix land.
In little Netflix land.
I mean, it's hard to battle something like this after you've been a service for so long and then you add rules later. It's like, man, it's hard to backpedal. You should know because aren't you in this?
Right. Yeah. You just, if you're going to make a rule change, you can't half-ass it like this, because they want it both ways. They want the rule change and they don't want people to be upset about it. That's never going to happen. Right. People are going to be upset whenever you make the rule change. So you know what? You bite the bullet and you make the rule change and you let people bitch and moan for like a couple months. And then and guess what? People forget and they move on with their lives. The fact that Netflix keeps rolling this back just keeps making it news.
Yeah.
It's so
could that be the point?
Counterproductive.
Could that be the point?
No, because it's not. Like, I don't believe in the all press is good press mantra. Bad press is not good for a business. This is negative press. This is them backpedaling. Now consumers think that they have more power. And so now they're just going to keep bitching and moaning until Netflix shuts this down. Just make the change, Netflix. Just make the pricing change and cut down on people stealing your service. Because that's what this is. It is theft. If you are sharing, the terms of service of Netflix clearly state that when you are paying for the service, it is for your household. Your household. That means the walls that encapsulate your apartment, your home, whatever it might be, that does not extend to your household where grandma lives 2 states away, or
what
your
if you have 2 houses?
Student. No, that is one. It's a household. That is it. That's it. Like one house, one apartment. That is it. That is all you get.
See, Netflix needs
so
you.
If you have 8 people living in your apartment with you, they can all watch on Netflix. But your kid goes to college. No, they can't use your password. They're in a different household now. They need to get their own effing password. Pay for the services that you get. Stop thinking everything needs to come for free.
Ooh.
If people didn't do that, if you want to do that, get the ad-based service. Pay less. But stop stealing from people. I don't like this. Because like you said, as a community manager, as a game person, I have to deal with this kind of stuff all the time. And it just comes down to it is just straight theft.
Yeah.
Okay. But Netflix is wrong. Just you got to bite the bullet, man. You got to take that negative attention that you're going to get from consumers for a little bit, but stringing it out like this, no, that's a bad PR move.
They need you as their spokesperson to settle things, get things.
Oh, I tried to get in with Netflix. They don't want me. So you know what? I don't want them anymore. You know who I want?
They're afraid of you.
I want 88.5 because
okay.
It's a really, really good business, and they actually appreciate their employees and want their feedback. So there we go.
All right. Well, more news today. Well, there's a company out.
Of the day.
This is a big one. You like this one?
Oh, I just like it because it's Night Train, so I can sing the Night Train song from Guns N' Roses coming up. So go ahead, and then I'll get a person.
Well, there's this company that's proposing an LA to San Francisco night train. Listen.
And how about this? A Newport Beach startup is proposing a new night train. Okay, so this would travel between Los Angeles and San Francisco. The company says it would be a nightly first-class train between the two cities. In an interview with SF Gate, Dreamstar Lines says it's already working on lining up rail cars, financing, staffing, and agreements. The train would leave from L.A. at 10 p.m. every night and arrive in San Francisco by 8:30 in the morning. Tickets would cost either $300, $600, or $1,000. The project is expected to be finished by 2026 or 2027.
Well, there's your problem. The price.
Yeah, the price. I was just going to say,
bummer.
there's no way this is going to work when a round trip flight from Los Angeles or Burbank or Long Beach or Newport or not Newport or John Wayne or Ontario is like $59. $59 round trip. Or like maybe
it is like
100.
Using the rail and
I mean, sure. I mean,
they add stuff to it.
I like flying like an aeroplane, feeling like a space brain one more time tonight. I mean, who doesn't? But still, I had to get my lyrics in.
Yeah.
But the cost, it's always about the cost. Like, I like a train, but until they can figure out how to make train travel less expensive than airline travel, no one's gonna take it. How do they do it in the EU? Like, how is it that the EU has awesome trains that are stupid cheap?
Is there's just more there's more rail lines, there's more places you can go via rail there. I think that they've just, and isn't it part of the government? So, they encourage you to take the,
a lot of
got to be a way of life and a mindset more than the actual existence of it. Like, we're not using the train as much as we should and could, at least here on the West Coast. On the East Coast, I mean, a lot of people don't have cars, so they take the rail.
Well, the East Coast is easier because cities are closer. We only have one high-speed rail line in the entire United States. One.
Yeah, and what's I'm gonna be 100 mile long or something?
I'm gonna be on it in 6 weeks. It's gonna be awesome. This is the ACLO line. It goes from DC to Boston. It's the only high-speed rail line that we have in the United States.
Yeah, it's fairly new too, right? It's only a couple years old.
It's not fairly new. I mean, they've redone it a couple times. They've gotten, I think, better engines. May go a little bit faster. But still, a one way was still pretty comparable to like an airline ticket from DC to New York City for us. And I just don't understand. Like, I've been to Europe one time, and we took a train from Amsterdam to Paris. That was $30. $30. And it got us there in like 3 hours. It was spectacular. The train was going like 200 miles an hour the entire time. We can
dream.
In California, it's a little bit hard just because the cities are so spaced apart. But again, $300.
No, it has to do with freight, overnight? Dude. The problem is the sharing of the tracks. We don't have enough lines to get an accurate level of people through, because a lot of times these Amtraks and Metrolinks, they got to sit here and wait while the big freighters go by, so they're using time between the freight. And in the EU, they're not really. I don't think they do that. I don't think they share freight with travel
lines.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think they split them, but here on the East Coast, I think they split them as well. There's like freight lines and then there's commuter lines, but here we share them up and down the California coast. So it makes it a little trickier, and that's why it's more expensive, because we're paying for freight maintenance.
I mean, I guess I don't understand why ground transportation in our country is so expensive. Because I'm looking up, I mean, even if you want to take like the cheapest bus, from Los Angeles to San Francisco is $40. Why would you take that when for $20 more you can get a one-way ticket on an airline and be in San Francisco in like 45 minutes?
Yeah,
like that's the thing, that the cost issue is just like astounding to me.
Yeah.
So this, like you said, this is gonna fail because who's gonna pay $300 to ride overnight on a train when they can pay
Such a bummer, dude.
$45 and get there in 45 minutes?
Such a bummer. And that's
It's such a
before
bummer.
taxes and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
It's like,
exactly.
that's their base. You know, that's the
Exactly, yeah.
cheapest way you can go. All right, well, we'll take a car then from now until something else happens, I guess, until they lower them prices. All right, we'll be back tomorrow for another show. This is the Barry Funkhauser Show.